No way.
We are getting married in 4 weeks and we have never kissed.
We've never kissed.
The first day I met Breon, well, actually, a day before we actually met, he saw me. I didn't see him. Just want to throw that out there.
That's true.
When we met, his brother introduced us, and it was just regular conversation. Hey, how you doing? That type of thing. He seemed like a really cool guy, and that was it. That's all I thought. Well, it wasn't a long journey getting to that place, but it took a little bit of time because I really had to get to know him. I really got to get to know his personality, and I found out that he was just as weird as I was. And so that was something that attracted me to him. And I can't remember when I knew, but I just knew. At some point, I just knew that he was the one and that he was sent for me. I feel like we were created for each other.
I did see her, and I felt something as far as when I did meet her. First of all, her name's Brianna. My name's Brianna. So that was kind of, I've never met, Brianna and Breon, and she was beautiful. She was our age. She was my age. We listened to the same music. But the first day I had seen her, I knew that she was going to be someone in my life, whether it was a friend or a mate. I just knew she was going to be someone in my life.
We are preparing for the big day, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
a huge day.
Huge day, right? So how excited are you guys?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm pretty excited about it too.
Yeah, she's pretty excited.
We have a few things to take care of before we're like 100% ready. We have all the big stuff together, but just the small things that we have to get in line. 4 weeks to go, and we just sent out the invitations today.
Today.
Like literally today.
Literally today.
People come.
About 5 hours ago.
Well, we've got to get them first, right? Yeah.
Right.
So the $1 million question everybody wants to know. When did you first kiss?
We have never kissed.
You've never kissed?
What? No way.
We are getting married in 4 weeks, and we have never kissed.
You've never kissed.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. I actually wanted to. I wanted to. I remember when I dropped her off one time, and I got out the car to hug her, and we had already been in a courtship. We had already solidified that we were going to marry each other, which is crazy. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in for a kiss. So I got out the car, she opened the door, and when she opened the door, we just gave an awkward hug. And when I got back in the car, I had waited until she got in, and I started driving off. I got down the street, and the song by Chris Brown, "I Should Have Kissed You," I wanted to play that. So that was going on in my head. And as I was driving, the part where it says, "So I turned the car around, and you were right where I left you, and your friend." So when that part came on, I was about to turn, and I realized there was nowhere to turn, so I just kept going. So I actually wanted to kiss her, but God had told me it wasn't time, and also she made it a little awkward, but it was God.
I did. I purposely made it awkward because I could feel that he wanted to and that he was about to, and that wasn't the direction that I wanted to go because I wanted to save our kids for our wedding.
So Breon mentioned courtship. Is that what we're doing? You're courting each other?
We were.
Okay.
Before we got engaged, we were in a courtship. So in a courtship, my take on it is two people meet and they talk about marriage, but essentially they are getting to know each other as individuals first. So they meet, and then they start dating. They're in a relationship, and the end goal of that relationship is to get married. So it's not like casual dating where you meet somebody, you're trying to figure out if you like them, that type of thing. You are dating this one person, you're in a relationship, and your ultimate goal is to get married. What we decided to do was abstain from sex before marriage because we feel like that complicates things, and we didn't need that. We wanted to get to know each other on an intimate level in every other way but physical. It was okay at first until we started to see each other in that way, in that sexual way. It's hard to not do anything because we are so attracted to each other, and we know that ultimately when we do get married, that's what's going to happen. So it's been extremely difficult, especially since we got engaged.
And is there a religious impact?
Extremely.
Yeah.
How so?
Staying obedient. Staying obedient to God.
Yeah, we truly believe that God wants us to wait until marriage so that we can learn each other on every level before we complicate things with sex. You can say that sex doesn't complicate things, but it definitely does. It blurs your mind. And some people just date for that reason. And we just chose to go a different direction because we know that we want to be together long term.
I feel it was needed. I feel like it's needed. Since we were both celibate, we had already made a promise to God that we were gonna save each other for marriage. So before we even met, we had already established that with God. Courtship to us, it's extremely intimate. It means intimate. It means it's extremely intimate. It allowed us to get to know each other intellectually and build each other up spiritually, emotionally, and keep those things away from our promise. As far as looking at her, and as far as how I look at her, when I did look at her, I didn't necessarily look at her sexually, which is crazy to me because I've always been, you know, oh my gosh, look at her, or whatever, you know what I mean? Just like any other guy. But I didn't see that in her. I looked at her as I was growing with her, I looked at her as a gift from God. And when I look at that gift, I look at God's daughter. So a lot of times we don't necessarily want to talk to a girl because her dad's around or we know her father's going to be strict. When we look at women and you look at him as God's daughter, you're looking at him as God's gift, God's precious gift that you can't take, that he trusts you with. And if he can't trust you with it, he's going to take it away. And that's how I looked at it. And because of my fear for God and my love for God and my love for her, I knew I didn't want to take it away from her. So I just look at it as just being patient.
So, did it work? Did this courtship experiment in some ways? Did it work?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I say so.
It's weird to me. It's so crazy when I look at it now. It's all been worth it. The feeling that I have, the feeling that, you know, that I have and the excitement that I have, I look at nowadays, they're like, oh, a lot of guys are like, man, I'm about to get married, dude. I'm about to get locked up and locked down, can't do nothing. Yeah, she has me in collar, leash. No.
We are together all the time. Like, you will not see a Bree without the other Bree. And
the breeze.
The breeze. But it's just awesome.
I hear there's a nickname?
Yeah. We have quite a few. A lot of us call us the breeze.
The breeze.
But Bree squared.
Bree squared. That's the coolest one. Maybe we are. I don't care.
Probably.
So lastly, I'd like to just say thank you. Thank you for inviting me on with this small part of this journey. It's refreshing to see young people like yourself see the world in this way. It's actually traditional take, right, on something that I guess in these days would be considered new. So thank you, and I appreciate, and I'm sure on behalf of the crew, we appreciate you guys sharing this experience with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. So
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Wait till the next guys. That's awesome.
Washington, will you be my heart, my supporter, my helper, my rig, and will you marry me? Oh my goodness.